Greetings from the Corporate Interface Cell and a very warm welcome to Business Edge 4.0, 6 Industries, 1 Podcast. The Corporate Interface Cell is the corporate club of NMIMS ASM SOC, where we strive to bridge the gap between the corporate world and the students through providing many breakthroughs into the business world. I, Vidhi Shah, your host for this evening, present to you an exciting episode on one of the most dynamic industries, the agriculture industry. We are delighted to have Mr. Tilaak Deb with us today. Currently, Mr. Deb holds the esteemed position of Associate Vice President, Sales and Field Marketing, National Sales Manager at Godrej Agrovet. He is an industry veteran with a remarkable 19-year career, making his mark from the very beginning as a sales head at Doe Agrosciences. Throughout his journey, he has ascended the corporate ladder, holding pivotal roles at renowned organizations such as Agrinos, Head of Marketing at Sulphur Mills, and Strategic Marketing Lead for UPL. With his extensive expertise and experience, Mr. Deb is undoubtedly a source of valuable insights and knowledge in the fields of strategic planning, marketing strategy, and corporate branding. It is a great honor to have you here today, sir.
Thank you, Vidhi.
Join us today as we take a delve into Mr. Deb's professional journey, the various challenges and opportunities he has faced in the course of his career, and his insights on the industry. This is going to be an enriching conversation I'm sure you don't want to miss out on. Let us start with our first segment of questions, shall we? Sir, could you elaborate on your extensive 19-year experience in executive sales leadership roles and how is it different from your current role?
Okay. So basically, I started my career as a trainee. I passed out from college and then I joined. I didn't have any vision. But I knew that I wanted to be in the corporate. But how? I didn't have any directions at the point of time. And that's what usually happens when you come out of a college. Anything that comes up for you, you try to see that that's where you would you get an opportunity if you want to go there. I joined as a trainee and then eventually I started understanding my role. And I thought that, well, this is not what I want to do. And then again, eventually I went into product development and then field marketing. I kept on changing. Then finally I discovered my passion, and that's in sales. Where I started doing good. So sometimes what happens, you join, you have an aspiration to do something, but yet when you get into doing that job, sometimes there is a lag that happens that you feel that your competencies or your passion doesn't fit into what you want to do. So I identified my passion when I joined into sales. So that's where I started. And then eventually I grew up the ladder, and then I saw the growth was coming, and that's how I'm here.
So can you elaborate on how is it different from your current, your other jobs at different agriculture companies? How is that different from your current role?
Okay, so the role that I used to do earlier at SAFE, so for example, product development, it was totally concentrated in understanding how to bring in a new product to the market and to ensure that the marketing of the product is done. So that's one part. Next part is in the strategic marketing. Strategic marketing, you will have to look at long term, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, what you want to do. And then when it comes to sales, it's a combination between strategy as well as execution. So strategy is somewhere where you look at the long term, what you want to do. Execution is getting the strategy into action. So the failure of a strategy is when there is a failure of execution. So that's where the difference in the roles that I've seen. But in every role that I have done, I think execution is very important.
I completely agree, sir. That brings a lot of insights to me and as well as everyone listening today. Moving on to my next question. In the agricultural sector, how do you stay updated on industry trends, market dynamics, and competitive activities? And how do you stay ahead of the curve?
Okay, so in agriculture, that's a very dynamic segment that you look at. So if you look at the current status of agriculture, we had the current population is around 8 billion globally. By 2050, it's going to be 12 billion. So 12 billion population to feed it. Today, if you look at the Indian standard of living, how we are living, so it's just around, if you look by Indian standard, you will need 1 earth to live. If you live by the European standard, you will have 3.5 earth to sustain yourself, the kind of resources required. If every one of us start living at the American standard, then you will need 5 earth to live. So you can understand the pressure on food production. So that's where agriculture has a prominent place and a role to play. And if you look at how as an enterprise we look towards agriculture and how we see being updated on the happenings around the world. First of all is that you have your own competitive landscape that you have to keep a watch on, because sometimes what happens, it's very dynamic, it's changing, very frequently changing, new technologies coming in, one technology evolves and the other technology gets over. So sometimes in the long run what you have to do is that you have to have a robust networking and an understanding of what your competitors are doing, what is the technological landscape that is shifting, and how do you build an interface between the changing technology to the current need of the people. So that's where it is.
So you mentioned that there's a lot of technological changes, etc. So it's a dynamic environment, right? So how do you stay motivated and driven? How does your team stay motivated and driven in this environment?
Okay, so that's a good question. Catch. Okay. So see, motivation, I think that's mostly intrinsic. You may try to motivate an individual by giving some sort of an incentive to influence a person to work, but that incentive would be a short-term thing. The intrinsic motivation is very important. In an organizational setup. What we try to do is that we try to give an ambience where people have an opportunity to take out the best in themselves, because you cannot just micromanage things and say that this is what is expected to be done and do that. That's where what you're doing, you're just restricting someone's innovativeness. So to keep someone motivated, I think giving a space for that person to use their innovation, the innovative way of thinking, a space where they can really explore their passion, what they're good at. There should be an opportunity for the person to grow. Right. So if your growth is restricted, you may be given money, a lot of money, but money is never a motivating factor. Every time when people looks at an organization, or when they want to get into a job, first thing, what do you look at? What is the package that is given? If you look at an MIMS 10 lakhs package, 15 lakhs package, that's what you say. But the fact is, while getting into a job, the package, I do not think that has a very big role to play, because sometimes what happens, as you grow up the ladder, if you are not doing something that you're passionate about, that you're good at, and you do not have room for innovation, then there is somewhere that you feel that probably has an impact on the motivation. So providing an environment where people has an opportunity to grow, to follow their passion, and maybe yes, definitely, and then comes money, because that's a hygiene factor. If you have more money, it does not mean you are satisfied. But if you have less money, you will be dissatisfied. But more money will not give you satisfaction. Money will follow you if you follow your passion.
Correct. That was truly inspiring. I feel like a lot of us as students, we think that money is the most motivating thing. Like when we start out, obviously that's our mindset, but that was truly insightful thinking about it that way. I'm sure a lot of people listening would also have a change of perspective now after you said that. So what is your personal favorite motivation technique? Like, what do you like?
Okay, so practically speaking, I love challenges. So when I wake up, I put some challenges in front of me that I will be doing better than what I've done yesterday.
Yes, of course.
So you need to have a challenge in your life, because for me, that adrenaline rush that I have has to be satisfied with some sort of a challenge, which we should be having. And in the role that I'm working for now, sales role, definitely it's a very challenging role. Every day is a new challenge that comes to you. When I was in a marketing role earlier, well, probably that's a long-term perspective that we have to look at. You don't have the challenge today. You do not have to have the challenge for tomorrow. Maybe the challenge would be while you are doing something. So that the kind of challenge that is there in the sales role was not there in the product development or in other roles. But yes, definitely, the challenge motivates me. So
that's a very good, insightful way to look at it. I'm sure everyone isn't very comfortable with challenges, but that's very interesting.
You should be willing to move out of your comfort zone. once you move out of your comfort zone, then you can realize your true potential.
Potential.
Your true potential can only be realized once you move out of your comfort zone. So you cannot be within your comfort zone to realize your potential.
That's very inspiring. So you mentioned your like sales is challenging, etc. So can you share some examples of like sales campaigns or initiatives you've overseen in your career, and what learnings you and your team have gotten from those campaigns and initiatives?
Okay. The campaigns that is rolled out is from the perspective of ensuring that you have an end user. There is an end user need.
Yes.
And you have a product to meet that end user need. So when we do a campaign, so you have someone, say for example, someone you are selling this Tropicana,
Yes.
or any other juices. So why would I drink it? Because I have a thirst.
Yes.
And I'll drink that. So there is always a target audience. There is the end user whom you want to do, and there is a need of that end user.
Yes.
And then comes your product that fits there.
Yes.
And once you fit your product there, you will have many competitors in that.
Right.
So how your product is different from the other products which you would want your end user would be using, and what is the differential strength of your product that needs to be highlighted. So that's basically the sales, the concept of the sales campaigns that we have.
Yes.
So identifying the needs and then fulfilling the needs.
Yeah.
To do that, there are different ways of doing that. One is campaigns. Number two is digital campaigns to create awareness. Social media campaigns. One is one-on-one contact. One is you go and set up stalls, and then you have a fair, and then you explain the concept to the people.
Right.
So practically where many product fails or people in sales fails is that they go with their product to sell a product, but they do not fit it to the end user need. So either there is a felt need, I know it is my need, or else I have to tell them this is what it is, and this probably is your need. Do you identify that? If you can help that your end user to identify with the need, then selling the product is easy.
Easier, yes. That's a very good idea, and I feel like everyone who's doing sales, who's learning sales, that's very insightful for them. And yeah. Moving on to my next question. So, a motto you seem to resonate with a lot is rational, radical, and resilient. Can you elaborate on how impactful it is and how you use it in your day-to-day work life and your day-to-day life in general as well?
Okay, see. Any decision that you take should not be impulsive, or should not be your own decision that you want to do. The decision should be rational, so that the other person also understands why the decision is being taken. So understanding the rationality is very important once it comes to getting a buy-in from other people, and then getting an ownership of that. Radical means any decision that you take, it should not be a generalistic decision. It should be something that is new and unique that you can bring in.
Correct.
So every time when you take a decision, is just something that that you're bringing in, where you can add something new or innovative in there. So that creates an hype about that idea, that creates an awareness about that idea, that creates an acceptance about that idea, because it's rational, yet it is radical. And resilience is required because every day is not the same. Today you are doing good, tomorrow it will be bad. So bouncing back is very important. So never fail you should never fail, or never die attitude. That's what.
I feel like I personally resonate with that a lot as well.
You do that?
Yeah, I feel like that something I also like. That's the way I think as well.
That's great.
Moving on to my next question. So, how do you ensure that your sales and field management team align with the company's sustainability and environmental goals in the agricultural sector?
Okay, so now that is sustainability and environmental goals are non-negotiable.
Yes.
Those are non-negotiable because today what we are doing should be sustainable, because for an enterprise to be successful, for an enterprise to be long lasting, you need to have a sustainable goal, and everything that you do should be sustainable. Because unless today what you are doing, if it becomes obsolete after 3 years, then all your efforts that you put would be in waste, because what you are doing today has to be taken forward to tomorrow, so that as and when the idea moves on, the organization also grows on, because all the resources that you put in currently needs to also support your
Support,
future.
yes.
Future. So sustainability is very important to ensure the future. So we believe in environmental sustainability. We believe in having a sustainability in the work that we do. So any roles or any jobs that we take forward, we would want to see that going forward, whatever actions has been taken, the impact of that actions carries forward in a
Yeah.
positive way.
Correct.
Going forward, that's it.
So, sir, when you're doing like sales, etc., like how do you incorporate, like make sure that they properly align? Like sometimes there's a lot of waste that happens when you do like campaigns and stuff. So, how do you avoid that? How do you like curb and make sure that the regulations are always followed?
Okay, if you say in the agricultural arena, sales are different in different areas.
Correct.
In agricultural arena, what we do is that we look at increasing the productivity of the farmers, so that, as I told you earlier, to meet to the need of the
Yeah.
society.
Society,
All
yeah.
of us are dependent on agriculture directly or indirectly. At some point of time, we also need to ensure that the final drive that that agriculture is having has a positive impact
Yes.
to the society around us. So what we do is that we try to see that the productivity, our efforts is to direct it towards the productivity of the farmers and the well-being of the farming society
Right.
in a sustainable manner, so that it does not whatever actions or whatever chemicals that is being used to increase the productivity are used in the right manner, and also it helps the farmer to produce more. So that's where, did I miss your question somewhere? I think
No, I got it. That was actually very interesting. The company is so sensitive to the farmers' needs, and it's very impressive that you all incorporate their needs with your needs and make sure that they are producing more. Like you take their things in accountability, which is very
the
thoughtful.
accountability is important. And then when you sell something, or when you go for a marketing initiative, you should be also knowing what is the potential that you are targeting.
Right.
Because agriculture targets acreages, land. So what is the acreage? How much crop can be cultivated in that acreage? What percentage of that acreage do you have the resources to support and help the farmers to grow? So that's how we identify the potential of our organization to cover up that area. On that basis, the resource allocation is done.
That's very impressive. So the farmers being such an integral part of our country, it's very heartwarming to know that the company does so much for them. So you said that there's a lot of things to take into account when you're selling such a product. So what role does data analytics play in your decision making process?
It plays a very important role. Today, if you look at any decisions that has been taken, data plays an important role. And today we have the facilities and we have the opportunity to utilize the data because of intervention. So like Internet of Things, then we have the artificial intelligence coming in, and we have lots of data analytics startups coming in. And also the usage of computers has also it is increased. Even if you look at the rural areas where the impact of technology was minuscule, 5 to 10%, maybe around 6 to 7 years now.
Yes.
The penetration of mobile phone is around 60%. The highest growth of mobile is happening there. So technology is there. So how do you extract the data? Is important.
Yes.
So once the challenge for organization is to get the data in one place, because there is data all around.
Yes.
So you are getting the data, but compiling the data, keeping it in one place, and taking decisions based on the data.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key challenge most of the organization has. But we have kept on working on the data analytics, and today all decision making are based on the data, because the past trend, the historical trends, what's going to happen in the future, the predictive analysis. So all depends on the data that you have. Based on the current data, how do you predict the future? And also with the IoT coming in and lots of intervention of technology coming in,
yes.
the data recording is easy now. and then based on the data, precision agriculture says that where you want to spend your resources, how much quantity of fertilizers can be used by a farmer, what is the specific area where it is to be done. All those are supported by data analytics.
As you said, so that you love a challenge, so I feel like you would really do amazing. You are doing amazing in that field.
Yeah,
so
that's important.
yeah. So moving on, what motivated you to pursue a career in the agriculture industry, and what aspects of the sector like compelled you to choose this as your career path?
Okay, basically I'm from the northeastern states. I was born and brought up in Nagaland, and then from there I have been traveling across. One thing which attracted me towards agriculture is that you see, basically if you look at our ancestors, they were all dependent upon agriculture. So whatever land and all that we had, people somewhere or other used to be connected with agriculture. One thing which I saw in agriculture is that there is a scope where you can contribute to the society. And number two is that this is challenging, and I said that the challenge attracts me.
Yes.
So it's not very easy. The weather changes, the climate changes, the rains comes. It is the crop will come. The rain is not there, then everything is spoiled.
Yeah.
So it's a day in day out challenge in this. So one is something to contribute something to the society. That's what attracted me. And number two is that I, by virtue of my educational background, biology was one of the subjects which attracted me. So botany and all is part of biology. So I thought that's my passion lies in something which is in the biological arena. So
that's very admirable, sir. That also following up on the question, you went to IIT. So do you feel that gave you an edge over, or gave you more clarity to choose your career path? Did it like help?
Yes, definitely. The background of an organization, or the perspective that you get by learning from a reputed organization. Every organization has their own unique way of teaching students, and also the perspective that you get while you are during your studies definitely helps you to see things differently. Yes, IIT did help me to look at things differently with a different perspective. And the other thing was that yes, it gives an edge, because when you are working for an organization and you have people from different institutes who are also competing, the brand definitely helps you to get a leverage. Yes, it does in the initial stages of your career, when you are entering into
The industry,
into the industry, or when you are entering into some new role or job. That helps you. That's where the certificate is seen. After that, it's your competency that matters.
Yes.
But yes, definitely, the brand of an institute and organization definitely has a role to play. Or else, why would people be going to IIMs or NMIMS or IITs?
Yes.
So you guys are also a big brand.
Thank you, sir. You mentioned like being around people and like learning from them, etc. So throughout your career, being in various companies, what valuable insights or advice have you received from your mentors, from your peers, which you would like to give to the new generation of professionals coming in?
As I kept on saying, follow your passion, and follow your passion, because it's very important to understand what truly drives you. It's not only your education or the skill set you're trying to gain because you are seeing people around you gaining some what do you call competencies or skill sets. Skill sets and competency are important when it is coupled up with the passion that you have. So if you have a passion towards doing something, you might feel that I like to contribute to the society. I want to be in an NGO, or I've got one of my friend who's spending all his time taking care of pet dogs, or I mean the street dogs, and then getting them into the shelters, shelter homes and all. That's his passion, because he feels that he can, and he's doing really good. It's not the kind of money he's earning, but the kind of peace he has, and the kind of happiness that I see in his face when he does those things. So those are important, because ultimately your growth is determined by what you feel at the end of the day. If you're happy doing what you are, then you're successful.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something and you're growing, yet you are not happy doing that, then probably somewhere you're missing on or you're missing on something which you are supposed to do for yourself.
Right.
We live for ourselves.
Yes.
We have to do something for ourselves, and that's where I think the passion really drives our motivations, and our growth in our career.
I feel like everyone listening, and including myself, we need to hear that. I feel like nowadays when we are in this, like in our business school, etc., you feel like your passion aside, you have to just earn money, you have to just like do the goals, get it done. But that's a very interesting perspective, and I feel like everyone should think about it more than they actually do.
Yeah, and another fact is that you don't have to run after money.
Yeah.
Money will run after you
yes.
if you're doing the right things.
Yes.
So that's how it is.
That's very inspirational, so thank you. As we wrap up our initial segment, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for this enlightening conversation. I'm absolutely certain our audience has gained tremendous knowledge from our discussion. Now let's transition into a more dynamic part of our show, commencing with the fast-paced rapid-fire round.
Okay.
I'll be asking you a series of questions, and we're eager to hear your swift responses.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so. Let's see.
So, what is one word to describe your routine workday?
Challenging.
I'm sure, sir, as you love challenges. Something that always keeps you motivated.
Challenges.
So, what are 3 things you cannot start your day without?
Okay. That's okay. My toothbrush. Number 1.
Yes, sir.
My the black tea, green tea in the morning.
Yes.
There's a second. And third thing is my exercise. I do not miss it in the day. Whatever happens, rain or shines, I'll exercise.
It's a very good habit to have. So I feel like the tea and coffee thing, I feel like all students out here can relate. We cannot wake up without a cup of coffee. So if it wasn't in agriculture, which other industry would you think you would be in?
So again, depends. But if it's not agriculture, I would have been in a corporate only.
Yes.
So corporate, it may be anything. I'll be selling something or other. I'll be selling something or other. Yeah.
So if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
I should have been more cool, because the kind of risk that I've taken in my life. So I have given a lot of stress to my mom. She's not there, but I should have been a bit modest and cool the way I have tortured her. So yeah, I think that's it.
So I'm sure that we all can infer from that. I feel like we all stress our moms out way too much. Can you give an example of some of the risks you took? Like some small story, if you could.
Story on what?
Any risk you've taken?
Risk?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, so lots of risks are there. So some I can tell you, but see, for me, every moment that I spend in my free time has an element of risk.
Right.
I went for this rock climbing. So when I go for a rock climbing, people goes with all
Belts,
the
etc.
belts and all. I just try to harness myself to feel that element of risk which is there. I know I'll not fall, but with all the gears and all restricting you, I do not do that.
Oh.
So I do not do that. But yes, I make it a point that if my fall is restricted,
Right.
yet not with all the gears. I went for this scuba diving.
Right.
There the risk which I did was that I was trying to catch hold of this what do you call it? This, not a shell, the one which is having this spiky things. It glows in
The corals?
The corals.
Yeah.
I tried to bring a coral
one,
back,
yeah.
and my hand was totally gone. So I keep on doing things, but yes, the element of risk definitely keeps me attracted. You might be seeing in my photo also, I'm riding a horse.
Yeah.
So I like horse riding. I like martial arts, nunchaku. So all those things I keep on doing it.
So
Even now.
that's very impressive. So actually, so what is your most unusual work habit or ritual?
I'd like to understand that question a bit better.
Like something unusual that people not normally do, but it's like a motto for you to do every day, or something unusual, like maybe celebrating after a deal, a certain way of doing something, which is a little unusual, like personal to you.
The unusual thing is that most of the time people would feel that they need time for rest and for themselves, and they would have their own me time.
Yes.
For me, my me time is traveling.
Oh.
Okay, so in my job, I keep on traveling. The day I'm free, I'll take my car and then I'll go for a long drive again. So for me, sitting in one place is very difficult. But for me, I think I need to be constantly on the move.
Right.
So people finds that unusual because sometimes people want to see that
Yes.
I want my own time, I want to
Yeah.
rest and all. But for me, it's 7 days or 7 days. I keep on traveling somewhere outside. I'll be doing that.
So if your life had a slogan, what would it be?
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
That's very inspirational, sir. So if your job came...
Okay, another one.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one is while writing the story of your life, be sure to hold the pen. And that's there in my Facebook also. I've kept it there. I like that. It's not, I heard it somewhere, I've seen it somewhere, but I find that's where it resonates with me.
Yeah, it resonates. I feel like with everyone. It's something
When you
that
write
is
the story of it, you should be in control of it.
Yeah, you should be the master of your destiny, yes. So if your job came with a warning label, what would it say?
Slow down.
That's true. I feel
I
like...
will say slow down.
Yeah, everyone in the corporate world, it's a very fast-paced life. Everyone
Yeah.
needs to slow down, take a breather.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that was super interesting and fun. All this while, I've been the only one asking the questions. How about we switch things up a little and turn the spotlight to the questions on our inquisitive listeners' minds?
Okay.
Let's dive into the next segment where we address the frequently asked questions in CIC Wants to Know.
Sure.
So, coming with the first question. Does a particular movie or TV show resonate with you?
Movie or TV show
show.
resonate with me?
Or even a book or something like that. Anything like that.
It does. Zindagi na milegi dobara.
I feel like so that's very
Because
favorite.
you live only once.
You live only once, yes sir. Does your day have a secret hack for handling an overflowing email box, or is it a perpetual game of catch up?
What does it mean? Does your day
Like,
have
do you have like a simple hack to like open all your emails instantly, or is it just a perpetual game of catching up?
No, my email goes into a specific mailboxes which I've made it. So I make it a point to see to go individually to each mailbox based on the priority.
Right.
And then clear things up.
That's very interesting. So I feel like we all should learn how to manage it that way.
Okay.
Does the corporate ladder still exist, or are we all on a corporate jungle gym now?
The corporate ladder. People call the corporate ladder when you are growing up.
Right.
Or I do not think that there is something called a ladder. It is your competency. There is no jungle or gym now. But the fact is, it is not the age that is sin. It is not people nowadays in the corporate. They does not grow by virtue of their number of years in the job.
Right.
They grows by their competencies.
Right.
If someone is competent enough to actually deliver the job that is expected out of that person,
Right.
and has the skill sets, the person will grow. Age does not matter. Or the corporate ladder, yes, the ladder is there, but the growth perspective, I think it's very defined. It's skill set that defines the growth.
Yes, I agree, sir. So does your organization have any tradition which is unique to your culture, like your work culture?
Yeah, ethics, compliance, processes.
Right.
Those are important for me. Because my way of working, you might have guessed by now.
Yeah.
It's very dynamic.
Yes.
And to be within limits, there has to be ethics which will guide my actions. I'll be compliant to some social norms which is there.
Right.
and processes. Because if the processes are not there, then it's very difficult for you to really be within the purview of the organizational requirement. So process, policies, ethics, and compliance. These 4 things. Yeah.
So sure, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. So does the concept of work-life balance hold the same significance at the executive level?
So ideally, I think it does. It does, but it depends on individual.
Right.
So work-life balance is important if actually you want to increase your productivity, because you have to balance both the personal and the professional life. It does.
Yes.
Sometimes we as individuals fail to maintain that balance because we tend to tilt our efforts towards one side or the other.
Yes.
So, like me, I've tilted it towards work. So, I should be working towards the other side also.
Yes,
but it holds true. It holds true. It has to be.
Thank you, sir.
Now, let's add a touch of creativity to the conversation with the emoji round. We'll be giving you these emojis to express your thoughts on some interesting situations we'll be presenting to you.
Okay.
I'll ask you a series of questions and I invite you to respond with the emoji that captures your emotion or your reaction specifically.
Okay.
I'll give you an example on how this round is going to work.
Okay.
Like my reaction when you agreed to come here was the shocked emoji.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can begin.
I need to see the emojis?
Yeah,
okay.
sure, sir.
Okay. And
Angry, there's happy, there's
Happy.
no comments, and then there's like the face emoji.
Okay.
So let's begin, sir.
Yeah.
What is your reaction to a sudden work-related travel plan?
Work-related travel plan reaction.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy.
Yeah.
So your reaction to a decline in sales due to competitive pressure?
Due to competitive pressure, reaction. Okay.
Yeah. The face palm emoji, yes. Your reaction to a deduction of company budget allotment to the sales department?
Company's budget allotment to a sales department.
The angry emoji, yes, sir. I feel like everyone would be a little furious. How would you feel after a successful product launch?
I'll be happy.
Yes, sir, of course. So, as we near the end of today's podcast episode, you can. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
I have to admit that the emoji round did bring a delightful and exciting element to today's episode. Keeping the energy levels high, let's move on to the final segment of the podcast. We have already covered a lot about the industry and your work. It's time to uncover a little more about you with our final segment called Beyond the Boardroom. So the first question would be, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Switch life with anyone for a day. Who would do it for why? I would switch life with a.
It can be anyone, like.
Yeah. I'll switch life with a scuba diver. I'll switch life with a scuba diver. It's because look at the excitement he has. Look at the difference. Look at the kind of what do you call it? The experience he has underwater.
Yeah.
So we are mammals. Why not get a chance to live an amphibian life, go underwater?
Absolutely,
and see
sir.
that. So you get to see a different set of world if you're walking there.
Yeah, and the resilience your body needs also would be a great challenge. So, if you could choose any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Now, these questions are very tough for me. So I'm a bit of a realist. So I'll just superpower.
Yes.
So if I would want to have a superpower, I'd want to be Superman, so I can fly around. Yeah. No, but no, I do not think that superpowers does exist.
Right, of course.
What exists is the power within yourself to drive things. I would seek for more of resilience in me to meet up to the challenges that keeps on coming. So
Right.
I would not look at Superpower.
That's a very admirable mindset to have, and I really respect that. So, what is a hobby you cannot get enough of?
That's playing Morthagan.
Oh,
So I play Morthagan. I think that I listen to a song,
yeah,
it sticks to my mind.
yeah,
So while I'll be lying down in the evening, so I'll just try to play that song and I catch it very fast.
yeah.
And I wish I had more time so that I can follow that passion of mine,
Yes.
because that's I also had a dream of having my own YouTube channel playing my Morthagan, but I couldn't do that. I didn't have the time. But that's one of the thing which I'd want to do. I feel it's too less time we have.
Yeah, I feel like we should all remove a little more time to
Yeah.
pursue our hobbies. And
Yeah.
So, what is one unpopular opinion you have?
Unpopular opinion means, what is the specificity of that question?
Anything, like something that you feel is not everyone agrees on, but you still believe in that.
Okay. Well, I believe that when you have a thought, when you feel that there is something you want to do, nothing will stop you from doing that.
Right.
Whatever might be the scenario around you, it's only the mindset that drives your behavior.
Right.
So if you have the right mindset to drive an objective that you want to do, so nothing can deter you from not achieving it. I face challenges from many people when I say that this can be done and it will be done. Yet when people feel that everything cannot be by can be done, but there has to be some sort of a gap, or there should be some sort of a second way out of a situation. I don't believe that, because if you think that this is something that you can do and you want to do, I think practically it is always feasible, because that's your mindset that is driving you to do things. So having the right mindset is very important. But somewhere I think that makes me a very tough taskmaster when it comes to driving people.
Right.
People would not be very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But that's something which I'd want to change also.
So, following up on that, how would you deal with like a uncooperative subordinate? Like, if they weren't like doing their allotted job, how would you deal with that?
First of all, it's important to understand why he's not cooperating with you.
Right.
He may have his own challenge, or she may have her own challenges.
Right.
We should be always, while taking a decision and then getting people, when you're working with as a team, the role of a leader is to understand the perspective of the other person. Yes, you have an objective to be driven, a team to be successful. But in order to do that, you should understand what exactly is restricting him from not doing something which is expected out of him. So first of all is to understand what is his requirement.
Yes.
He may have some personal problem. He may have some competencies issues. He may have some skill set gaps. So identifying that, having an open discussion, and then telling that person that you want to help that person, bring out the best of that person. You should be supportive first.
Right.
Unless you're supportive of a person, you will not get the best out of the person.
Right.
Understanding his perspective is also important. Once you align on that perspective, then you know where you can help out.
Right.
What usually happens is that someone is not cooperating, then we build a perception that person is not cooperative at all.
Right.
Every individual is cooperative. Every individual is there to help out, and every individual can be successful in their way of doing things.
Right.
So you need to take out the best of the people, and for that you need to listen, spend time, talk to people. Digital world is changing that.
Yes.
Digital world is changing that, because while we have meetings, we have it in Teams.
Yeah.
That is reducing the interface between the people because of the technological intervention. Today as leaders, what happens is that earlier leaders used to have the status of a guru, because you had an answer to all the questions.
Yeah.
Today, people doesn't need answer to questions. People have all the answers to the questions to Google.
Yes.
So they will not ask you the question. What you have to do is that you need to ask the right question to bring out the best in that other person. Ask the question so that they can think. even today there are people who ask questions by looking at Google. What is the best question to ask? So that will come from Google.
Yeah,
So understanding the other person's perspective is important, and then finding out ways to help. You should help the other person to help himself.
That's a very admirable leadership mindset. A lot of leaders believe in like enforcing rules and following them. This is a very admirable mindset that you have. So as we draw the curtains on today's episode, I would like to express my gratitude for your personal and fascinating responses shared with us in this segment. Our conversation with Mr. Godrej Deb has truly been a rewarding experience, as he generously imparted his valuable insights and experiences in the agricultural sector. I'm certain our audience found this conversation highly informative. I want to express my genuine gratitude for your time and active participation, sir. It's been a delight to have you as our guest on Business Edge 4.0. I hope you enjoyed our company with us as much as we did.
Yes, Vidya, and fantastic. You have been a great host.
Thank you, sir.
And the team around, they're really... It's exciting to be here with you guys. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course,
it's
sir.
been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're done? Yeah.